working between Native American and non-Native peoples, WordPress.com. Working towards understanding and healing between Native American and non-Native peoples. Menu. Significant Minneapolis place names come from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's epic poem The Song of Hiawatha, Hiawatha Avenue, Lake Hiawatha, the Hiawatha Light Rail Line, Lake Nokomis, Minniehaha Avenue, Minniehaha Park, Minniehaha Falls, and Minniehaha Creek. The poem's opening lines are fairly well known. On the shores of Gitche Gumee, of the shining big seawater, stood Nokomis, the old woman, pointing with her finger westward. The poem is a fictional and tragic love story between Hiawatha, an Ojibwe man, and Minniehaha, a Dakota woman. A popular statue at Minniehaha Falls in Minneapolis commemorates the poem. Less well known is that the Song of Hiawatha is a story of manifest destiny, the idea that white Europeans had God on their side and God's blessing to take indigenous lands and convert indigenous peoples. Longfellow's poem is a diluted fairy tale of how indigenous peoples would gently give up their traditional customs and become Christians. It papers over the brutal realities of land theft, forced assimilation, broken treaties, and genocide that was occurring during Longfellow's day and have continued thereafter. The Song of Hiawatha was published in 1855, the year after Minneapolis was officially recognized as a town. Later Minneapolis leaders took characters from the Song of Hiawatha as namesakes for lakes, streets, and parks, embedding manifest destiny into the city's very fabric.
Manifest destiny.
The Wikipedia entry on the Song of Hiawatha says, the poem closes with the approach of a birch canoe to Hiawatha's village, containing the priest of prayer, the pale face. Hiawatha welcomes him joyously, and the black-robed chief brings word of Jesus Christ. Hiawatha and the chiefs accept the Christian message. Hiawatha bids farewell to Nokomis, the warriors, and the young men, giving them this charge. But my guests I leave behind me, listen to their words of wisdom. Listen to the truth they tell you. Having endorsed the Christian missionaries, he launches his canoe for the last time westward toward the sunset and departs forever. Longfellow's poem is based on indigenous legends and his own imagination. People of Longfellow's day criticized the poem. Any Americans weren't happy to see Native Americans portrayed in such a sympathetic way. The Song of Hiawatha also is an example of a white author appropriating indigenous stories for his own benefit.
Pay attention.
Here's background on the poem's characters who are part of Minneapolis landscape. Hiawatha. There was a real-life Hiawatha, just not this Hiawatha. The real Hiawatha, a skilled 16th century orator, lived in what is now the Northeast United States. He played a key role in persuading the Senecas, Cayugas, Onondagas, Oneidas, and Mohawks to band together to become the 5 nations of the Iroquois Confederacy. Longfellow initially was going to call the Ojibwe hero Nanabajo, also Nanabajo, a trickster figure who appears in traditional Ojibwe stories that are still told today as part of modern Ojibwe cultural education. He ultimately settled on Hiawatha,